Welcome forward, viewers, listeners, and well-wishers of the Now Church. I man is Rastafari, greeting you in the name of the Most High, the Imperial Majesty I, Haile Selassie I, Jah RasTafari. You've probably figured out by now this one is a tribute to Burning Spear, the living legend. Born in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne, Jamaica, in 1945, and named Winston Rodney, the man who would come to be known to the world as Burning Spear, was born as a lover of music. He became obsessed with the R&B and jazz coming from the US onto his radio, and the rich tradition of African American music. In his spare time, he would sing and compose songs on the beach. The Rastafari Black Liberation Movement was strong in his area, and within a short while he was reasoning with the elders, gaining knowledge of Rastafari and of the great black liberator, upliftment leader Marcus Mosiah Garvey, whose teachings he would take to heart. He started formulating the idea for a roots trio, which he would name Burning Spear, after Kenyan anti-colonial activist Jomo Kenyatta, whose name roughly translates to Burning Spear. With all these ideas brimming in his head, he happened to buck up on Bob Marley riding his donkey to the Malcolm cultivation, and he asked Bob how to get into the music industry. Bob told him, go and see Cox and Dodd at Studio One. And so said, so done. Winston and the friend that he took with him, Rupert Willington, passed the audition. And they were a duo, and Mr. Dodd decided to release Door Peep. Soon after the audition and recording, Winston brought in Justin Hines' brother, Delroy Hines, as a third member, making it a trio. Many releases came forward, including Joe Frazier. Studio One presents Burning Spear with Rock in Time, Ethiopians Live It Out, Zion Higher, and We Are Free. In 1975, the trio left Dodd to work with the young producer Jack Ruby. Now Winston's songs started hitting with the Jamaican public for real. The song Marcus Garvey and Slavery Days were instant classics. Burning Spear's first major contribution to Rastafari was the revival of interest in Marcus Mosiah Garvey and his legacy throughout the Caribbean and the whole diaspora, including the UK and the US. The album Marcus Garvey was recorded with the backing band Black Disciples, that included master guitarist Earl Chinna Smith, bassy Robbie Shakespeare, and Leroy Horsemouth Wallace on drums. Winston got an offer from Island Records, and so he left Ruby and his backup singers, and he himself became Burning Spear. Island released Garvey's Ghost, Man in the Hills, Dry and Heavy, Aswad backed him on live gigs and also on the album Social Living. Spear made a special appearance in the reggae movie Rockers as himself, comforting and encouraging Horsemouth Wallace, who was the main character, by singing Jah No Dead with him seated on Key Largo Beach. Ever on the move, Spear left his exclusive deal with Island to release Hail Him on his own Burning Music label, distributed internationally by EMI in 1980. This album showed that although he revered Jomo Kenyatta and Marcus Garvey to the heights, he definitely put Emperor Haile Selassie I as the supreme. The album was co-produced by Aston Family Man Barrett, and recorded at Tough Gong Studios. He started working closely with Nelson Miller, a drummer, and Nelson was also a co-producer. Miller helped produce The Fittest of the Fittest, 1983, Resistance, 1984, People of the World, 1986, Mistress Music, 1988, Make We Do It, 1990, Jah Kingdom, 1992, The World Should Know, 1993, Rasta Business, 1995. He won a Grammy for calling Rastafari. And he also had Appointment with His Majesty. All Spear's living dub albums were mixed by Sylvan Morris. Now, similar to Garvey, Spear moved to New York, where he has lived with his wife Sonia. And unlike many male Rasta artists, he is a one-woman Ras. He said he was retiring in 2016, but he has had other thoughts and continues to put out albums. The Jamaican government gave him Order of Distinction in 2007. I think he has passed James Brown as the hardest working man in show business. Spear brings a seriousness to his Rastafari convictions. His voice is like the soul of Africa and Garvey in one. So I must always hail our musical master champion from the roots of the roots of the roots, Winston Rodney, the burning spear. Give thanks and praises. Jah RasTafari, ever living, ever loving, ever faithful, and ever sure.